actually kind of surprised I've never done this video before, but today I have for you 5 high-end beauty treatments that are worth the money, honey. So most of you know, if you've been in my community for a while, I've been an esthetician for the last decade, and I've been in the beauty industry for the last 2 decades. So I am no new kid on the block when it comes to beauty treatments, makeup, skincare, all the fun stuff. And a lot of the things I'm going to talk about, I started doing even before I got into the industry. These are things that I feel are worth every single penny. Number 1, laser hair removal. Yes, please. Full body, please. Which is practically what I did. How many years ago was that? About 14 years ago. Okay, what I want to say is all lasers are not created equal. Lasers are kind of like cars. They all perform a little differently and they all have different strengths and qualities about them. So laser hair removal is something that has been around for, I don't know, at least 2 decades, and the technology only keeps getting better and better. Now, with laser, you absolutely want to do your research, especially with laser hair removal, because there's different types of lasers that are out there. One type of laser that I would not recommend for hair removal is IPL hair removal. It will seem like it's doing something in the short term, but it will not give you the long-term results that you want, that you're paying the money for. So you want to look for an alexandrite or diode laser. There's several different manufacturers out there that are really, really good. For most of my treatments, I did 2 years with the light shear, and that is a really, really effective laser. I would go like every 6 weeks. And the reason why you go on a schedule is because you want to catch your hair while it's in the growth phase, while the hair is coming up. The laser targets that hair follicle and it kills it off. So it kills it off in that phase, and that's where it's the most effective. Now, I'm not going to get into like all the nitty-gritty with each of these because I feel like every single one of these really deserves like its own video. But what I will say is do your homework. I think more than ever now, we have so many reviews available to us. We've got representation of different med spas and doctor's offices, and you can get on Instagram. You know, there's so much research that we can do that will really set us up for success. And laser hair removal, you will find it all across the board. You will find it really inexpensive and really expensive. It doesn't always mean that because it's more expensive, it's better. Do your research on the type of laser. That's what's going to be the most important. And then also make sure you ask like what kind of a guarantee or what kind of treatment plan they have to offer and what exactly that entails. Because in my opinion, and I ran lasers for years, you really need to continuously treat at least for, I want to say at least a year. And that's usually like every 6 to 7 weeks, depending on the laser. And you have to keep in mind, you have to stay out of the sun and you can't have a sunless tan on either. So your skin needs to be pale. And then also there's a lot of other criteria in there as far as who's a good candidate and that sort of thing. Again, I can go over that all in a separate video. Let me know if that's something that you guys would even be interested in. But laser hair removal has been worth every penny that I spent on it. So highly recommend it. Now, one thing I didn't mention is that laser hair removal is not going to completely get rid of all of your hair forever. If anybody tells you that, go the other way because they're not being honest. You really, what you look for is a massive reduction, right? So you can expect on a good result an 80% reduction, which if you're someone who has to shave every day, your hairs are dark, they're coarse, it's going to be well worth the money. Because usually what I do now is like I'll shave once a week. Right before I'm about ready to do my spray tan, I'll shave, I'll exfoliate, and then it's done for the week. And really, I don't notice much. I mean, there's a couple spots that I can tell like around my ankles and up on my upper leg that I think maybe got missed, like when they would go to flip me over. But it's not a big deal to me. And then what happens, the cool thing really is that as you continue your treatments and you get more and more, your hair grows in finer, lighter, and less of it. So it's a win-win. I highly recommend laser hair removal, but do your research. Number 2, laser skin rejuvenation. Now I say that because it's a pretty big umbrella. There's a lot of different types of rejuvenation that you can do when it comes to your skin. You can get an IPL, which addresses brown spots and broken capillaries. You can get a fractional non-ablative, which is going to address texture and fine lines, collagen production. They even have hybrids now where they do a little bit of both. I've been out of the industry for a few years, so I know that there's always new technology coming up. I hear good things about BBL. I hear Clear and Brilliant is really good. And there's one more I can't think of right now. I'll put it up here in the notes if I think of it. But again, just like I said with the laser hair removal, it's the same thing when it comes to skin rejuvenation. All lasers are different. And so make sure you look at a lot of before and after pictures and look at actual patients. Don't just accept the photos that you see that are from the manufacturer of the laser. You really want to see that the clinic or the med spa that you're going to, that they've done multiple treatments and that they have many, many happy clients. Because while, everything is expected to go off without a hitch, sometimes people don't get the results they're hoping for. Sometimes it takes longer. Sometimes it takes more treatments. There's a lot of different variables in there. So make sure you ask a lot of questions in your consultation and make sure that you go through with your technician and really address all of your concerns so that they can give you realistic expectations of what you could expect for your results. Now, the types of laser skin rejuvenation that I've done is I've had multiple IPL treatments. So for sun damage, for pigment, it's also really great for broken capillaries. It can be really great for rosacea, but again, make sure that you're getting before and afters because just lasers are all different in what they can do. But do expect if you are getting treated for rosacea, you will likely have a pretty good amount of swelling. So you know that you're a little sensitive anyway since you have rosacea, but just keep that in mind if you're someone out there who's looking to seek laser treatments for rosacea. I feel like I should probably do like a whole separate video on rosacea because there's so many different factors, extrinsic and intrinsic factors that affect your rosacea and that affect what's happening with your skin. But lasers can be effective for that. But I think what they do really great is they can address the pigment, they can address scars, so texture from either like scars like on the body, or it can be stretch marks or acne scars, even just like lines from aging. Anytime you incorporate heat into the skin, you're also going to get a collagen stimulation. So they're really great for, rejuvenating the skin, making your skin to look more plump, more youthful. Lasers though do usually come with a little bit of downtime. So that's something that you want to take into consideration when scheduling your appointments and things like that. Also, they're really not a good idea at all to do if you're someone who's in the sun. So you want to do something like a laser treatment in off season. And you always want to make sure that your skin is free of any sunless tanners as well, especially if you're doing a laser treatment that's looking for pigment, because it doesn't know the difference of pigment between your sunless tan and a spot on your skin. So just always make sure for that. Your technician should go through all of this with you, but there's always just a few little things that I like to mention because sometimes it gets missed. Besides the IPL, I've also had fractional non-ablative laser treatments done for acne scars, and that's been really, really effective for me. When I was younger, before I got into aesthetics, I want to say I was like 31 or 32. I did a pixel RF treatment, and I'm pretty sure that was considered ablative. Ablative, non-ablative. Ablative is like you're going in and you're literally it's vaporizing your whole entire face. Like it's just vaporizing the skin. There's a specific treatment that a lot of people will do if they're like really desperate for major change. And it's not a laser treatment that I actually recommend. I've had many, many clients do this laser treatment and have super thin skin afterwards, super sensitive skin afterwards. I'm gonna make a note of it up here in the video because I can't think of what it is right now. I've been out of the med spa clinic days for a little while, so I'm a little bit rusty on that. But fractional non-ablative is when, think of it like a little grid, like it just goes in and it does like dots. So it still leaves your skin intact around those little dots. That is a really great way to get great results, have a little bit less downtime, and it not be quite as invasive. Now, when I did that pixel treatment, I straight up looked like I ran into a hot, scalding screen door. I mean, I had like the tracks and everything. And it was all new to me at that time. That was my first laser treatment I ever had. And I remember the technician being like, okay, and you're gonna apply this white cream after your treatment, and you're gonna leave it on, you're gonna wash your skin, you're gonna apply it again, you're gonna leave this on for like the next 48 hours. And I was like, no problem, whatever. The white cream, no joke, it was like this thick white cream, and it literally just had to like lay on my skin. Like I was not prepared. Even though she told me that, I was still just not prepared. I remember putting like an airplane pillow around my neck, and I was just like sleeping like this the whole night, like a couple really bad nights of sleep, but well worth it. That one did great for pigment and my acne scars. Those were like that Pixel RF treatment. It's a little bit of older technology. I think it's still around though. It's really, really great. I'll go ahead and try to list out a few of the lasers that I know are really great that either myself or clients or friends have done and they've had really great results. So that can be really good if you're someone that wants to address pigment, that wants to address acne scars, rosacea, broken capillaries. IPL is great for that. Fractional non-ablative, really great for that as well. Number 3, cosmetic injectables. Now, you know, I am no stranger to any of these things. I have been doing injectables for, gosh, at least since I started doing Botox in 2012. And I want to say it was like 2004 when I first started getting lip filler. And I've always been like really natural about it. And in fact, shout out to my girl Erin Jedrusik. She's a good friend of mine. She is an amazing injector. She is in Detroit metro area. She has a beautiful med spa. She has done all my injectables for the last 8 years, with the exception of a couple times where I've lived away and I just couldn't get to her. But she always has done everything so natural and so light on me, and she just takes it easy. And she's an artist, but she's so good with the medical aspect. She's so safe, and she really listens, which is important. You want to make sure you find an injector that has all of those traits, you know, because things can go wrong, and you want to make sure you're in the right hands for that. But more than anything, you want to make sure that you are going to be getting what you want. I've seen many women in this industry sort of get addicted to injectables, and I'll say more probably for like the dermal fillers than anything. I mean, Botox is great. Botox is Botox. You want to smooth your lines, your wrinkles, give yourself a lifted appearance, Botox is it. Sorry, there's no skincare product that's going to do that for you. There's just not. Skincare is important, but it's not the full picture. But I've seen a lot of women over the years sort of lose track of, I don't know if I want to say like how they started or what their face shape was, but they've gotten like kind of addicted to it. And we see this in the industry. And I think that's another thing that makes a really good injector is being the professional and suggesting certain things over other certain things, and knowing when to kind of say, I think you look great as you are. I wouldn't do anything more. Those things are all important, but just do what feels good for you if you decide that you want to get injectables. Now, I'm not saying that they're for everyone. They're not. There's something for me that they've made a huge difference. I like to keep it really fresh, really light, very natural, and just do a little bit along the way that just keeps me feeling fresh and confident. The moral of the story is do what feels good for you and don't worry about what anybody else thinks, because really none of that even matters. If it's something you've been thinking about doing, if you've done your research, and again, always look for before and afters. That's so important with anything that you're doing cosmetically. Make the decision that's right for you. Number 4, microneedling. Ooh, I love me some microneedling. You know, I started doing microneedling in the med spa that I was at several years ago, and I really love microneedling for a lot of different reasons. I mean, one, it helps to address a whole host of concerns. So from texture, fine lines, acne scars, stretch marks, surgical scars. Also, it addresses pigment. So it can be really great for melasma. It can be great for like sunspots, brown spots, aging spots, whatever you want to call them. And just overall, I don't think there's any skin concern that it doesn't address. Oh, I forgot to mention pore size. I mean, there's nothing we can do to change our pore size, but when you start getting a series of microneedling, you will see your pores just look more refined. You will feel your skin just looks tighter. It just looks a little more snatched. And I have to tell you, microneedling's probably one of my favorite treatments. It's something I kind of have going on in the radar right now that I want to do this fall. So with microneedling, depending on what your concerns are, you definitely want to commit to at least a series of 3. And if you have some more advanced concerns or you have surgical scars, those are going to need more treatments. But you'll see a difference. I feel like if you have a good technician and they're using a good device, you'll see a difference even after 1 treatment. Now, I will do a separate video on this because there's a lot of details that go into microneedling as far as like preparing for the treatment, what to expect afterwards, and that sort of thing. But microneedling, I highly, highly recommend microneedling. It's a great form of collagen induction therapy as well, on top of all the other things that I mentioned. So it's just all in all, and for the value, it's a really good treatment. Number 5, microblading. This is a treatment that I have had done a few times actually, and it's something that it's like, how did I ever live without this? I mean, I always say like invest in things with your skin that make you feel great without having to put makeup on. I mean, obviously I love makeup, but I also love not wearing makeup. I also love just getting up and just feeling good in my skin. And if I want to put something on, great. And if not, that's okay too. But microblading is a beauty treatment that I think is worth every single penny. And again, do your research, look at your before and afters, have a good idea of what you want. I know when it comes to microblading for me, I prefer a softer look. And I know there's some different techniques out there now that's not just microblading. I mean, it is permanent makeup, but there are some different techniques, ombre brows and powder brows. There's a lot of different ones. I've only ever really just done microblading, but I think the powder brow thing is kind of interesting too. So I like a look where if you don't have any makeup on, it just looks nice and soft and diffused. Your brows are defined, they don't look stamped on, they don't look too heavy, too full. In my opinion, what I think looks good, because I've seen a lot of microblading too, you want to keep it soft and natural. So you'll know when you start doing your research, when you find an artist that you're like, yep, she's the one or he's the one, you'll just love their work, and you'll notice a common theme with it that is just soft and natural. And with these things too, it's like, if you only need to go like every so often, you know, you'll do your 1 treatment and then you'll go back like I think it's 4 weeks later, 4 or 5 weeks later, and do another one. You may not need to do another touch up or service for several years. It depends on your skin type, if your skin's oily, dry, if you get sun exposure. There's a lot of different factors in there. But if it's not something that you're needing to do like every week, every month, whatever, find someone who's really good. Even if you have to drive an hour or 2 hours or whatever, make a day of it. I mean, just find someone who's really good. You'll see this is a common theme in this video. I keep saying, do your research, find someone who's really good, because this is your face, this is your skin, and you only get it once, and things can go wrong. So these things are great, these treatments, they're all fun, and we're very fortunate that we have access to these things, and if you can afford to do them, very blessed to be able to do that sort of thing. But just make sure that they are going to be exactly what you want out of them. And for me, I like that softer look, and then I like to be able to build them up or add more to them if I do like a full face of makeup. So like today, anytime I film, I do more makeup because you can tend to just be washed out on camera. So I do a little bit more makeup, and then I will always go in and fill my brows in just a little bit more just to kind of keep things balanced. But if I don't have any makeup on, I just leave my brows as is. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Now I know I said 5, but I actually have 6 because I have an honorable mention, and that is the ZO 3-step peel. So ZO Skin Health is a medical grade skincare company, phenomenal line, and they have a professional treatment called the 3-step peel. I actually have a full video on, I'll link it below. You can check out all the details of it, but this is a chemical peel. I wanna say it's TCA, salicylic, and there's another acid in there. It's a great peel. It also has a 6% retinol kicker, and that is what makes this peel unique. So it's technically a medium depth peel, and it's a peel that helps to address pigment, fine lines, pore size. I think what it does really well is addresses melasma. Melasma can be kind of a tricky skin condition, and if you've suffered from it, you feel the pain of this. I personally haven't, but I have many, many clients and some friends that have, and with a proper medical grade skincare routine plus this peel, you can expect, I mean, depending on your case of melasma, I'm gonna insert a picture, you can expect a 90+% improvement in your melasma. So it is available out there. And there's a lot of factors that go into this one too, as far as like sun exposure and when you're off and on hydroquinone, if you are, that sort of thing. I'm not gonna get into all those details today, but it is a really great peel for all pigment, especially melasma. And what I love about this peel, because a lot of people will be like, well, I've had the VI peel. Nothing against VI peel. I worked with VI peel for a little bit before I started using the ZO 3-step peel exclusively. What I love about this peel is that you get consistent results throughout the full face and neck if you do the neck too. Whereas with different peels in the past, like VI peel, you might peel a lot down here, but then you hardly peel up here. The 3-step peel is like legit. It is the peel. And I can't say enough good things about it. I probably should actually put that on my list of things to do this winter. I think it's really great to do seasonally. So maybe like twice a year, maybe you do it like right before the holiday season, like October-ish, like right now is a really great time. We're out of the sun, that's really important. And then maybe you do it again like just before spring. So that's a really great like program to get into with that. Also, while I'm mentioning that, if you don't have an esthetician, I highly recommend it, even if you're not going to get facials on a regular basis, although I really think you should. They can be a really great partner and ally for you in like your skincare program. So they can work with you on your concerns and what you're looking to improve upon, and then they can make like a calendar for you. I used to do this with my clients. And then kind of just tell you what you should be doing to get those results. It's oftentimes with our skin, it's not just a one and done, it's multiple things. It's just like if you want to be in shape, it's not just going to the gym. It's going to the gym, it's eating right, it's getting enough sleep, it's all these different things. Skincare is the same thing. It's your home care, it's your professional treatments. They all are like all encompassing in the final result. So find yourself an esthetician that you love and enjoy that. It's actually not working in clinic anymore. I miss it so much because I've made so many friends in just in client relationships that we've become friends, and it's such a nice thing to do to take care of yourself. And if you find the right esthetician, and I'm kind of partial to like the med spa setting, you can get results driven treatments and get that pampering aspect. So I think it's a win-win. That's it for today, guys. If there's any questions that you have, let me know. This is kind of my specialty. This is like what I did for so many years, and I'm really passionate about it still. So if there's anything that I can share with you to help, I would love to. So thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting this channel, and subscribe if you haven't, and hit the little bell so you can know when I post new videos. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next video.